Hey everybody, it's Justin Price, the friendly neighborhood realtor out here in Berkshire County, Western Mass, all the way to Boston. I come to you today to talk about one of the biggest questions I get. What does it take for a first-time homeowner to become a homeowner? Right? In a short answer, pre-approval. You need to get money to spend money on buying a house. So, what I'm going to give you today is just the top few, 1, 2, 3 things you can do to aid yourself in getting approved to buy a home. Right? So I get a lot of calls, a lot of emails on this topic. So I'm going to answer it today in a short video. Okay? First and foremost, when you're dealing with a bank, they want to see proof of income, right? So when it comes to being pre-approved, it could take as little as 7 to 10 days, 15 minutes to 2 years, depending on your situation, right? Some people need to fix their credit first. Some people are in a little better of a position, right? But I'm going to give you the basic rundown of what it takes to get a pre-approval for a mortgage, right? That's the step that comes first in actually buying a home. So a lot of people look at homes, a lot of people talk to this one, talk to that one, but there is a formula, right? So before you go talking to those banks, give me a call. I'll answer those questions, get you in position, and put you in touch with lenders, right? Banks, mortgage companies. These people exist to give you a framework to operate within. So let's get started, right? One of the top things they're looking for when it comes to being pre-approved for a mortgage is your income. They want to know what type of risk you are. Are you going to be able to afford your home? Are you going to be able to make payments? Right? Now, if you remember 2009, the housing bubble, right? Everybody's value was in the toilet. Houses were given to people that couldn't afford them, right? They were called liar loans. That's because the government said, hey, you're making it too difficult for people to buy homes, right? We want American people to have homes. Well, we want American people to keep those homes too. Now, there's hurdles such as credit scores, right? Proof of income, assets, right? They want to see these things are in place in order to make sure that we don't get in that problem again. So let me give you the first hurdle. Proof of income, right? What they're going to be looking for is as follows. 2 years of W-2s. They want to see that you can keep a job, hold a job, and manage your money, right? If you can keep a job for 2 years, chances are you're in a position to keep that job for a longer time, as well as even if you've changed careers. If you've worked for this company for a few years and that company for a few years, put you in a good position, right? So they want to make sure that you have at least 2 years of W-2s. Next is your pay stubs, right? They want to see what kind of money you're bringing into the home. They want to see your debt to income ratio. If you're not familiar with that, I'm going to put a couple things in the link that you can click to check those things out and get a little more familiar with them. But they want to understand your debt to income ratio. How much money do you bring in versus how much money is going out, right? Now, before I got into real estate, I was a financial advisor. So those things were what my job was, to take the money going out and make it serve you better, right? Get you into a better mortgage, get you into a better car payment, right? Put the $3 a day that you spend on coffee into a fund for things like colleges and home buying and retirement and things like that, right? Well, that was part of the step, is to see what kind of money you're working with and what kind of debt to income ratio, right? We're trying to get the debt to income ratio a little more managed so that you are in position to have freed up cash, right? Cash reserves. So that's what we want to see when it comes to your pay stubs. They want to see that you've been working, how much money you've made year to date, and how much money you have in reserves and things like that, right? The third thing in this category is 2 years of tax returns, right? They want to see 2 years of tax returns to make sure that it backs up your pay stubs and other information, right? It's another way they can keep their finger on the pulse of your financial activity, your debt to income ratio, and your ability to repay loans, right? That's what this is all about. What is your ability to repay loans? Now, this isn't just important to the mortgage company. This is important to you, right? So you don't want to buy a house that you can't afford. You don't want to lose a house. Nobody gets into home ownership expecting to lose a house or have trouble paying for it, right? So you want to make sure you're in good shape in this arena as well. So it's a dual purpose. It serves the bank to make sure that you can make these payments, and it also serves you as an educational tool on what you can and can't afford, right? We don't want you to go out and get a $300,000 house and then lose it. Maybe you're better off starting with a $60,000 house, building some equity, building your credit up. But home ownership is for you. You just might not be able to get into the $300,000 house yet. Keep listening and we'll get there, right? So let's recap. 2 years W-2s, right? At least 3-4 pay stubs with your year to date. You want your last pay stub so that they can see what you have made thus far this year. And 2 years tax return, right? So that takes care of the portion of income proof, right? They want proof of income. Next are your assets. Right? These are bank statements, these are investments, these are 401k plans, these are annuities, anything you might have that would be considered an asset, right? Another home, not really vehicles, because those don't really keep any value, but anything that's considered an asset, right? Like liquid cash reserves, right? Your down payment, all right? These are assets. Your down payment can be from 0 to 3.5 up to 20%, right? And it all depends on what? Your credit score. That's what's coming next. We'll get to that. Stick with me, right? But 20% is tough. That's usually the barrier that's standing between you and a home. So there's programs out there that are available to you to help you with this. FHA programs, right? Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, all right? There's government programs out there to help you bridge the gap between that down payment and home ownership, right? Now, a lot of the general public doesn't know what these programs do. I'm going to put a couple links to FHA, Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, and all those programs that'll help you assist with that down payment. But the idea is to at least be able to get your finances in order, to put some skin in the game. Your down payment is basically your skin in the game. If you're going on the market and looking for a $100,000 house, if you can't bring 20% down, then why would they finance you 80%? That's 80% of their skin in the game, right? So there's programs out there for VAs that you can have as much as this much, 0 down, right? So I'm going to put some links to those programs so you can get familiar with those things. Those are the tools that you're going to use to bridge the gap, right? So the second thing, like I said, was proof of assets. What do you have, right? And if you can't put together a down payment, then that's maybe where you should start, right? Now, the difference is 3.5%. 20%, 10%, 15%. These are all different numbers. But, like I said, as a financial advisor, I was able to take some of those payments from just $3 a day, right? That's almost $100 a month. Just on $3 a day savings. Skip that coffee. Bring your lunch to work, right? These are ways you can create down payments. The harder you go, a lot of people take their tax money and they just go buy new cars and big screen TVs. That could be your down payment, right? So pay attention to what you're doing. That's the difference between the 7 to 10 days or the 2 years that it may take for you to repair your credit, right? Or make a down payment. So the faster that you start to put these tools together, the faster you close the gap between you and home ownership, right? Now, third on the list is credit, right? Credit is like king. It used to be cash is king, right? But cash isn't king. If people win the lottery and they go buy things cash, that doesn't make any sense to me, right? Why wouldn't you use financing so that you could get 80% of your homes, cars, and things financed while you kept 80% of your riches, right? So credit works best because it frees up your liquid cash. If I had $100,000, I'd be able to go out and buy a $100,000 car, right? The smart sense is you get that car on a payment, you put a little down, and then you take your money and keep it in reserves, right? You can make further investments and basically have liquid cash, right? That's what makes cash king. Liquid cash is king. And to have that, financing makes sense because it leaves you with more liquid cash. We'll do a couple videos on that because I think people don't quite understand how important credit is. So not only is it important to you as far as buying a home, but buying cars, right? Financing businesses, putting kids through college, retirement. These are all financial things that you need to have in order to accomplish your goals, right? So again, number 3 on the list, credit scores, right? So important. Now, most banks are regulated right now to take nothing less than a 630, right? So if you have 5 and under, you might have to do some work. This might be the year or 2 program that I spoke of if you have below a 630, right? But that's important. That is the only thing bridging you between home ownership and not having home ownership. Also controls your interest rates, right? The worse your credit is, the more you're going to pay because you are a risk, right? You've missed some payments. You might have a foreclosure on your record, right? So the 630 is designed to at least bring you up to a safer standard to provide lending to you, right? So 630 is about the minimum to get a traditional loan, right? You want to be in the 700s so you can get those attractive rates, right? Like you obviously see car commercials and bank programs and stuff that say like 0% financing for 720 and above or whatever, right? So there's tons of money saved with 0%, if you think about that, especially when it comes to buying a house. If you're buying a $20,000 car, it might not be that big of a savings. But if you're spending $200,000, $300,000, that's a lot of money over a lot of years, right? So again, it affects your down payment. The worse your credit is, the more you have to bring down and the more interest you will pay because you are a riskier investment. So what do I recommend? Take the time to build your credit up because it will save you money on all fronts. I'm also going to put a link down there for credit building, right? We got to get you some information. We got to get you some educational tools to empower yourself, right? Now, there's other programs like FHA and some of those Fannie programs and Freddie programs that will work with people at about a 580, right? But you might as well do the work to get to the 630 if you're at a 580, right? Because it'll save you more money. And in the long run, you really want to be able to build yourself up to like the mid 700s because that's like bulletproof, right? So sometimes that can be a long haul, but it's worth it. I promise you. Little at a time, take that coffee money, pay down your debts, right? And there's also strategic ways to build your credit, right? Like just paying off debt isn't really the key to good credit, right? Making payments, steady payments, right? People want to see that you can make payments. That's what banks are interested in, right? That's what credit is all about, is your ability to make payments. That's what that score means. 3 digits, ability to make payments. I know there's more words than 3, but it worked, right? Anyway, so, FHAs can also help out by giving lower down payments, right? They're lowering the threshold. It's not quite as low as it was when we hit the housing bubble and people couldn't afford houses, but they know that it's challenging to get a 630 and above, right? So there are some options, but again, you're going to pay more in the long run with higher interest rates if you pay a 3.5 or something like that, right? Now they do have programs available, and again, I'm gonna put a link to those programs down there. So that's about the skinny of it, right? Here is how you get started. You call me, right? I'm a local realtor. It's my job to buy, sell, and position people to get over their real estate challenges, right? So all you have to do is call me, and I will put you in contact with the people that you need, right? I'll hold your hand. A lot of people are embarrassed by exposing their finances and things, but it's a must. If you want a home and you want good credit and you want these things to not be problems anymore in your financial life, give me a call. We will straighten those things out. I work with some of the top people in the industry that do nothing but crunch numbers and understand programs that are available to first-time home buyers, right? So I have a few updates coming up. I think every day I'm going to do a lunch with a realtor, right? Sometimes it'll be me, maybe it'll be other realtors, but we're going to get out there and we're going to answer some of your questions, right? We're going to have live sessions where you can ask us anything, right? But if you're not in touch with real estate professionals, it's going to be a hard task to get through. So all the realtors around just want you to know that we're here for you, right? So take advantage of that. Call the number 413-652-0137, or you can reach me at justinpriceproperties.com. Either way, get a hold of me. Stay tuned for the Lunch with a Realtor sessions. Sitting room Saturdays, I think I'm going to have, or maybe Sunday. And I'm going to be out there working with the public on getting you guys pre-approved, right? We got to get you started on buying that home. So again, get in touch with me or your favorite local realtor, which I hope is me, and let's start working on that, right? So let me be that bug in your ear. Let me call you. Let me keep you on task. Let me take you to lunches. Let me answer your questions, right? Let me soothe your fears. There are answers to your questions out there, right? So again, check me out, justinpriceproperties.com, 413-652-0137, and let's get you some keys to a new home. Stop making your landlord rich. Real estate is for you, maybe not you, but definitely you, right? No, I'm kidding. It's for all of us. So don't miss out on the opportunities. I will be out in the community. I'm easy to get a hold of. And if all else fails, my offices are located at 17 Main Street in Lee. And I also have a home office. I'm willing to meet in some local places. Lunch on me, breakfast on me. Let's just get in touch. Okay? If you have any questions, concerns, comments, any way I can better help you guys, leave that in the comments, and I'll hope to see you soon out there on the trail, right? So I'm going to have some seminars and stuff coming, some meet and greets. So stay tuned. We're active in the community. You should come out and be active with us. All right. Till next time, your friendly realtor in the neighborhood.